You are standing on a piece of land the size of a small town, yet you are completely alone on Earth. You do not know who lives there. You do not know where they come from. You do not know if they will ever return. This is Tristan da Cunha, the world's most isolated inhabited place, and the reason for its isolation is not a lack of ambition, but a fundamental incompatibility with human nature. Geographically, this is a British overseas territory in the South Atlantic Ocean, situated roughly between the Falkland Islands to the north and Lord Howe Island to the south. It is the southernmost inhabited place in the world, meaning that to travel here, you must fly at least 4,000 miles of ocean water. There are no roads, no railways, and no bridges connecting the island to the nearest mainland. The only landmasses nearby are the Falkland Islands, which is a sovereign state, and Lord Howe Island, which is a self-governing territory of New Zealand. The distance from the Falklands is approximately 1,300 nautical miles, or roughly 1,490 miles by sea. This isolation creates a permanent state of vulnerability. The island is the only place on Earth where a country can exist without any other country being adjacent to it. To understand why this place exists, you must look at the specific geography of the island itself. Tristan da Cunha is a small rocky island with an area of 61 square miles, making it slightly larger than the state of Rhode Island. It has a population of roughly 60 people. The island is not a single island, but a group of 3 small islets: Gough, St. George, and St. Paul. They are connected by only one narrow bridge, which is the only link between the 3 landmasses. The bridge, known as the British Overseas Territories Bridge, spans a channel less than 1 mile wide. It was constructed in 1956 and serves as the sole maritime link for the entire territory. Because the bridge is the only connection, it has been the primary bottleneck for maritime traffic. When the bridge is closed for maintenance, the island is effectively cut off from the rest of the world. This physical constraint has dictated the political structure of the territory. The British government has never established a permanent military presence on the island itself. Instead, they deploy troops to the nearby Falkland Islands to provide security. This lack of a permanent garrison means that the sovereignty of Tristan da Cunha is entirely dependent on the goodwill and logistical support of the United Kingdom. Now consider the economics of this existence. The economy of Tristan da Cunha is entirely dependent on the resources of the Falkland Islands to the north. The British government sells frozen penguins to international markets, and it is this revenue stream that funds the island's infrastructure. However, the island's population cannot afford to leave. The cost of a flight to the mainland is approximately $12,000, which is significantly more expensive than the cost of living in the Falklands. Furthermore, the local economy is so small that there is no industry to sustain a population of 60 people. The only major employer is the British Overseas Territories Bridge, which employs about 60 people and handles roughly 2,000 tons of cargo every year. This economic dependency creates a profound vulnerability. If the Falklands face economic hardship, or if political tensions rise between the UK and South America, the island could face a sudden isolation. There is no alternative source of income. Tourism is non-existent, and agriculture is impossible due to the harsh climate and lack of arable land. The population is forced to live off the land. Subsistence farming and fishing are the only options, yet the soil is poor and the ocean is hostile. This economic model is not just about survival. It is a structural lock. The island cannot generate wealth independently, and it cannot support a large population without external aid. This creates a unique dynamic where the future of the island is inextricably linked to the fortunes of the entire British Overseas Territories. The security situation on Tristan da Cunha is one of the most paradoxical in modern geopolitics. The island is the only place on Earth where a sovereign nation does not have a military neighbor. Yet it is also the most secure place in the world because it does not have one. There are no neighboring countries to invade, no border disputes to manage, and no regional powers to threaten. The island is therefore completely immune to regional conflict. However, this immunity comes with a specific cost: the lack of defense. Because there is no army on the island, the security relies entirely on the British fleet in the Falklands. This creates a situation where the island is perpetually vulnerable to external threats. If the Falklands are attacked, the island is not defended by its own forces. If the UK is attacked, the island is not defended by its own forces. The island is a fortress without a wall, and a fortress without a garrison. The security of the island is not a guarantee. It is a conditional status dependent on the stability of the mother country. This has profound implications for the island's future. As the world shifts towards a multipolar or more fragmented geopolitical order, where nations prioritize their own survival, the reliance on a distant military base becomes a liability rather than an asset. The island is an example of how isolation, while offering safety from immediate conflict, can render a location strategically insignificant in the grand scheme of global power. Tristan da Cunha exists not because humans are curious, nor because the ocean is empty, but because the conditions of human survival and global power dynamics make isolation an unsolvable problem. If you find this kind of question worth asking, there's one every week here. The next video covers the history of the Falkland Islands, specifically the 1982 war that brought the UK and Argentina to the brink of war. And it's one you won't see coming.